What's going on, Junkie Nation? Gorgeous George and Goes are back with another MMA superstar. This time we get to talk to the two-time defending champion over at PFL in the lightweight division. Of course, we're talking about Kayla Harrison, who headlines PFL Playoffs 9. It's this Saturday. Pay attention, folks. 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on ESPN. Her opponent, Martina Jindrova. Welcome back to Junkie Radio, Kayla. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for doing the show. And, I wanted to get my ducks in a row, did a little research. London, obviously, you've answered this question where you won one of your gold medals, but I was curious. It seemed like you favored this one over Rio. I'm sure they're both special, but why'd you favor this one? Just because it was the first?
Yeah, I think just, to be America's first Olympic champion, man or woman, it was my first Olympics. I had been dreaming of it since I was 6 years old. So to come out to win in style and to make history was really special. It was something that you really couldn't script. And I think too, just everything I had been through in my life, it was very young.
And then if I may, one question about Brazil, that was a stressful time. I don't know if a lot of people remember, but I believe there was something called the Zika virus going around, and a lot of athletes chose to not participate. And of course, I believe it was affecting women more than men. Was there any thought in your mind? Did you give it a once over, some research before you hopped on that plane?
No.
Okay. You just went out there and smashed, right?
Yeah. I'm just, if it's my time, it's my time, but I got to live my life.
Right. One could look at it as you've had 6 title defenses in a way. So obviously you guys go season format with playoffs, but you ever look at it that way? I mean, that's obviously how we separate the greats when we have GOAT talk, us nerdy MMA guys, we're like, oh yeah, well, how many title defenses? But in your, batting on your behalf, that's what we're looking at. 6 going on 7 and 8. Very impressive.
Thank you. Yeah. Really, every time you get in the cage, right? I think coming in as a 2-time Olympic champion, with the record I have, every time you get in the cage, it's kind of, you're putting, everything on the line. But I think the beauty of my career is that I have had failure before. I've struggled, I've lost, I've fallen flat on my face multiple times. And I know that it doesn't define me. I know that it doesn't make or break me. I know that what I do inside the cage is a personal thing, and it's what I do because I love to do it, and I want to see how high I can climb, and I want to see a legacy that I can create. But it doesn't define me, and that's why I have peace with it all. And I think that's why I compete at a high level back to back to back to back over and over and over again.
Every opponent is a new puzzle to solve, is what the great Randy Couture tells us. And I wanted to ask you, for Martina Jindrova, what stood out to you without obviously giving away your game plan? Not that it's ever stopped you from accomplishing what you have. I don't believe you've ever lost a round, but still, like, what's, be it her last performance or just her overall skill set, what jumped out to you?
Yeah, I think she's, she's an excellent striker. She has really good footwork. She's big, strong, sturdy girl. I think that she's a very worthy opponent. She's awesome. I have nothing but good things to say about her. It's going to be your classic striker versus grappler, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to instill my will 1 round at a time, 1 exchange at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 breath at a time. And we're going to see what happens.
Kayla, I think in the history of covering the show, I don't remember a fighter coming on the scene and then, like, just within a couple years already feeling like you're talking to this veteran that's been doing this forever. This transition that you've had has been so quick. And when you think about it, the amount of fights that you get. I wanted to ask you, like, sometimes we ask fighters that come off of like the Ultimate Fighter, and how long does it feel to shed the Ultimate Fighter and feel like I'm a veteran now of the sport?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that inside of you because of how much you've competed already early in this career? Do you feel that veteran status at all?
No, no. Mike Brown always jokes once you have 5 fights, you're a veteran, but I'm like, there's no way in hell that's the truth. can only compare it to my judo career, right? And I started judo when I was 6 years old. So the amount of hours that I spent doing judo, I mean, I started doing 2-a-days when I was 12. I retired from the sport when I was 26, and I probably had the longest break off the mat I had was when I had reconstructive knee surgery. So that was maybe 3 months without doing judo, 4 months without doing judo. So, 12 to 26 twice a day, 6 days a week, competing back to back to back to back to back to back. That makes you a veteran. That makes you comfortable. That makes you feel at home on the mats. So I definitely don't. I feel composed and I feel poised, but I don't feel like I'm a veteran. I don't feel like I've even touched the tip of the iceberg on how good I can get and what I can accomplish.
I always enjoy hearing you and your coaches talk about the fight game, but one of the things that I gravitate to the most is what you say about things kind of still surrounding the fight game, but a little bit on the outside. And one thing I find interesting is the circle of people that you have to keep close to you and not letting any poison get into that. Can you talk a little bit about the people that you have surrounding you and how you handle your circle in MMA?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that's one of the most important, pieces of success is to surround yourself with the right people. I talk a lot about there's no secret formula and you have to believe in yourself. You have to surround yourself with people who believe in you. But there's also the negative side of that. So you also have to make sure that you don't get fooled by what I like to call yes men or people who really don't have your best interest at heart, people who don't care about you as the person or you at a deeper level. So that's, I think, with money and success, those people try to creep in more and more and more. But from day one, I've had a little bit of luck, and my judo coaches, Jimmy, Big Jim, they're like my family. I still talk to them almost every day. Big Jim still comes to most of my fights. He actually just had coronavirus, so he is a little under the weather, so that's why he's not here in London. But Big Jim, Mike Brown, Steve Mako, Anderson Franca, even Richie and Dan at the gym, the people who I spend a lot of time with are people who care about me and what's best for me. And Big Jim, isn't afraid to tell me, like, hey, you're not working hard enough, or hey, shut up. Like, he's known me since I was 16. He's known me since I was 15. So I don't have any yes men around me, and I consider that a blessing. Although sometimes we butt heads and there's some friction, I know it's a big piece of what makes me successful and keeps me grounded.
That must be a Big Jim attribute, because we have a Big Jim that would do the exact same thing. I think once you graduate to Big Jim, you have to do that. But okay, so I wanted to ask you, I know you're not anywhere near calling this a career, but when it's all said and done, what's the one memory that you think will always bring a smile on your face, and then the one memory that you feel like might keep you up at night?
I think my last fight, there's going to be a lot. There's so much more to come, you guys. I think, to be honest with you, my last fight, when the kids came to the weigh-ins with me and they got out there and they showed off their muscles, and having my whole family there, for the first time was big for me, and I really enjoyed that. My kids came to my fights last year, but they wasn't quite the same, or 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago with when it was COVID, but it wasn't quite the same. Emery was so little. So getting to share that with them and experience that with them was really fun and really special for me. And a memory that won't bring a smile to my face, man.
Please don't say doing our show.
I mean, probably the media. No, I think I have no complaints. My life is truly a blessing. I'm grateful for everything, the good and the bad, because I know that without some of the bad moments, without some of the down, the pain, the sorrow, that I wouldn't grow. You know, I feel like I truly grow when I'm challenged, and when I'm maybe not, when life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. What is that saying? Like, you can't enjoy the sunshine without the rain, right? You can't enjoy the rainbow without the rain. So I wouldn't, there's nothing that I wouldn't look back on and smile about. My whole career, that includes from the time I started combat sports. I think that everything happened to me for a reason. I truly believe that God gave me a purpose on this earth, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to embrace it, and I'm going to do my best to make it all worthwhile, the good and the bad.
By the way, even though it was a one-time pit stop, and I don't know if you'll ever return, I really enjoyed seeing you at Invicta, because it seems like all the great female fighters in our sport have at some point been there. So
No, I really enjoyed that time. I really enjoyed fighting at 145. I enjoyed fighting for Invicta. I think that was a great, like you said, all of the greats have come through there. So that was a good experience for me. And obviously, getting to lay an elbow on someone was a lot of fun too.
Just a couple more here. When Don Davis made that announcement, did your eyeballs pop out? Because that was impressive. $1 million each, $2 million to the winner. I was like, whoa, like, okay, this guy's talking a big game. Like, I love it.
No, he means it. He's not talking. He means it. And I wasn't surprised. You know, I think that PFL is here to make some big moves, and they're not going anywhere. And I'm happy to be a part of it. And we both want that fight. So we're doing everything we can to make it happen.
PFL's no joke, man. This year, they've really taken it to another level. You know, some salaries came out a few months ago. Again, eye-popping moment there. They just signed Shane Burgos. That was very, very impressive. And then even on the heels of Verdum a few years ago, McDonald, you know, I really love what they've been doing. And then lastly, so I you know, studying, or, you know, not a deep dive, but just looking at your judo career, I tied it into this question. How popular do you feel you are with Brazilian fans? Because obviously you have the two that often get brought up, but I noticed that Mayra Aguiar, wow, you guys battled 9 times. You actually prevented her from winning gold. She got a couple on you as well. Credit to her. I don't even know what your relationship is with her, but just you versus Brazil athletes, that's been going on for a while.
I know. Story of my life. Always got a tough Brazilian in front of me.
Yeah.
Listen, I have nothing but good memories. Again, in Brazil and Rio, another life-changing moment for me. Really, some of the greatest memories of my life were there, and the people of Brazil, you know, they warmed up to me eventually. So I hope they know that I have nothing but respect for them, and I'm not sure what they think about me. I'm not sure. We'll find out when I fight in Brazil someday, I guess.
Yeah. And does your mind tell you that's gonna happen? One of the two versus Kayla. It's just gonna happen. Like, don't even worry about it because it's gonna happen. Is that your mindset?
You know, I believe that a lot of things are out of my control, right? I can only control me. I can only get up every day, train my ass off, work hard, keep my nose down, stay steady pushing, and be so good that they can't ignore me. So I'm trying to will it into existence, and I believe in myself, and I believe in my team, and I believe in that I have a purpose, and hopefully if it's meant to be, it'll be. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. And I'll be ready for it when it does.
All right, Kayla, thank you so much for the time.
My pleasure.